Okay, what are the top causes of autoimmune disease? This is a serious topic. We're going to get into it today, and we're going to also discuss 3 natural tips to reverse it in just a moment. All right, let's just jump right into it. I hope you have a pen and paper. This is very important information. I know lots of people are suffering with autoimmune disease. We've got over 100 of these disorders out there. And I am joined today with Dr. Tom O'Brien, who is an expert on autoimmune disease and helping people to get out of the problems. Tom, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Okay, let's talk about the top causes of autoimmune disease. What do you talk to people about?
Well, everyone asks first, what is an autoimmune disease? Your immune system, designed to protect you, begins to attack your own tissue. That is the autoimmune mechanism. So the question is, why is that happening? Has your immune system gone haywire? And the answer is no. Almost all the time, it has not gone haywire. It's trying to protect you. What is it trying to protect you from is the million-dollar question. And the most common triggers in the literature, in the medical literature, are environmental toxins. That's the air you breathe and the water we drink. And, sometimes the air inside a home, the indoor air, is more toxic than the outdoor air. So you have to learn about that. The second one is foods, and the most common food associated with the development of autoimmune diseases is wheat. Not just celiac patients, but all of us. It's called non-celiac wheat-related disorders. Used to be called gluten sensitivity, but now we know it's even more than just gluten, so we call it non-celiac wheat-related disorder. And the third one is bacteria that's getting out of our gut into our bloodstream. For example, when your immune system fights bacteria, let's say the bacteria that's called Proteus. If it gets in your bloodstream and your immune system makes antibodies to fight Proteus, it's like Proteus has an orange vest, and the antibodies are looking for the orange vest in the bloodstream. But the surface of your joints, the protein on the surface of your joints called collagen, includes what looks like the orange vest, the protein signature of Proteus. So the antibodies going after Proteus can attack your joints. And then you start getting the inflammation, and that can start the whole immune mechanism against your joints. You get rheumatoid arthritis. Just go to Google and type in rheumatoid arthritis and Proteus, and you'll see some of the studies on that. And that's true with multiple sclerosis and psoriasis and losing your hair called alopecia. Most autoimmune diseases now, we now know have an antigenic, fancy word for a trigger, that the immune system's attacking that trigger, and it may go after your tissue. And so it's wheat, environmental toxins, and bacteria. Those are the big 3.
Tom, I know you understand this, and I know you've heard this a lot. For those of you out there who are listening to all of this and really just want an answer, right? That Western mindset. Tell me what I got to do to get rid of autoimmune disorders. The truth is, what we're describing to you here in terms of environmental toxins that you're exposed to all the time, like you were mentioning, the perfumes, right? All the personal care products, gasoline at the gas station, the list goes on and on. I know you get it. The wheat that you may be eating quite a bit out there, millions of people are. The bacteria that we're surrounded with literally inside of us. You might be thinking, I've been exposed to this all the time. You're 8, you're 10, you're 15, you're 20 years old. Everything was okay. Why are you sounding the alarm about all of these things? And why are you saying to everybody that these are top causes for autoimmune disorders when I was fine my whole life? It's only now that I'm suffering. How could it be these things? What's your answer, Tom, to those people who are thinking that way right now?
That's a really good question, and the answer is the straw that broke the camel's back. We have more toxins now in our environment than ever before in the history of humanity. The list is it's startling and overwhelming to learn just how much of this is going on. You want to know how bad your air is where you live? Go to the car wash. Go to a nice car wash where the guy's got a water bottle in his hip and wipes you down. Drive home, park outside, set your alarm for 4 hours, go back outside, run your hand across the windshield of your car. That's what you're breathing all the time. And that particulate matter can be very, very toxic. And in most cities, it is.
It's got to blow your mind. What about these air fresheners that everybody's hanging inside their cars?
I won't get in an Uber if it's got an air freshener in it. I'll just say, no, man, you've got that air freshener, cancel the ride. And if I have the time, and then I'll just do another one, because every exposure just adds a little more to your analogy of a bathtub full of water. Every exposure puts a little more water in the tub, and a little more water in the tub, and a little more water in the tub. Just think of the clothing that you wear. My clothes go to the cleaners often because of these kind of things. And if you don't go to a green cleaner, the chemicals are in your shirt and your pants and your coat, and they outgas into the air, and you're breathing this stuff. And that's just one more load, a little more water in the bathtub. You pump gas. When you pump gas, can you sometimes smell the benzene?
Right.
You smell the gas, you're smelling benzene. Benzene, when you're smelling it, is causing a leaky brain. When you're smelling it, you've heard leaky gut, you get a leaky brain, which activates inflammation in the brain every time you smell it. So, well, I have to pump gas. Yeah, but you're downwind. Walk around to the other side of the hose, and now you're upwind. We have to start thinking like that of the little things we can do to reduce the load, the toxic load that we're being exposed to.
I'm doing all these videos to help educate you a little bit more, to help you to think about these things a little bit more. But I have to be honest with you, a lot of the healthcare providers that I work with, they often have said to me, and I'm not saying Tom has, but I'm sure he would agree, that they've often said to me that their experience with the public is that most people are not interested in prevention. And that's a sad commentary. I'm hoping it's wrong for the people who are watching this video. I'll be very honest with you. But that is exactly what it is that we're talking about here, is appreciating how all of these things, before they become a real problem, should be addressed. We should be making this a really top priority. Have fun with it. Don't get stressed out about it. We're going to get into now 3 natural tips that we have for you that will absolutely help you to calm things down. Because when we're not mindful, we are living a more pro-inflammatory lifestyle. When we aren't very disciplined in our own life about, like as Tom just mentioned, no, I won't get into an Uber that smells like air freshener, or changing the position of where you're standing when you're at a gas station so that you can be upwind and breathe air that is okay. It goes on, right? Hopefully I don't smell too bad.
You're not outgassing right now, right?
All right. Well, I go to a green cleaner as well.
Yes.
So, let's talk, Tom, about some of the ways that we can help people to know that they're going in the right direction and to calm down this inflammatory response in the body, and they don't have to always live with these autoimmune disorders.
Sure. I'm going to comment first on what you said about most people don't think about prevention. And that's true, unfortunately. And for those who are watching this at this point, you haven't clicked off, it's because you are thinking about prevention. So Absolutely. Way to go. High five to you for that. For those that don't think about prevention, well, you'll come back when you're sick enough. That's all you can do, is when they're ready. So I was asked to give 3 things that can help with the entire autoimmune mechanism. The first one is test, don't guess. Find a practitioner who will run the test for you to see, are you in danger right now? Because you don't develop an autoimmune disease when you get the symptoms of your hair falling out, or you're wearing socks to bed because you're so cold, which is a thyroid thing. That's not when you develop the disease. That's when you've killed off so much tissue, now the symptoms are obvious, that it's years beforehand that this occurs. So you want to test to identify, are you on the autoimmune spectrum? The second thing is gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. Go squeaky clean, gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free for 3 weeks. Just see how you feel. And if you notice that you're feeling better overall, no cheating for 3 weeks, you can be assured that there was an autoimmune mechanism going on in your body to some degree.
I'm sorry, Tom, I could hear the people out there. What was the exact testing, though, that would be a good thing for them to do with the right healthcare provider?
You go to my website, the Drcom, all the tests are there. The bottom line is there's 2 laboratories that have tests that go in that direction. And there are a number of tests, so it depends on which one you need. One laboratory is Cyrex Laboratories, Cyrex, and the other one is Vibrant Wellness Laboratories. And the second one is the most current, up-to-date, comprehensive of anything on the planet. But both of those labs are really good labs, and which tests depend on your genetics, your history, your family history.
And if people wanted more information, what website do you have, Tom?
The Drcom.
Okay, so again, the biggest thing, obviously, food-wise, for a lot of you dealing with autoimmune disorders, is definitely remember tip number 2. Take a good, hard look at the glutinous foods that you might be eating, that conventional dairy out there, those processed sugars. Really be okay with doing this kind of work and start getting that out of your life. And as Tom just mentioned here, it's so important that you realize that in the next few weeks, as you make these changes, you should feel a lot better. So anyway, if you have any more tips that you would like to add, please post those comments down below. Let this community know what you're doing with your autoimmune condition. For more information on a lot of these topics that I discuss, head over to naturalhealth365.com. We write articles all the time. We have podcasts. We do a lot of information over there. And Tom, thank you very much for being a part of all this.
Thank you, Jonathan. Real pleasure.
All right. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody.